today I would like to share with you my second visa interview experience that got my visa approved. So that means I went 2 times I went the Second World War or Visa War before my visa got approved, and the lessons you can learn from it. So probably if you go the first time you got denied and you are preparing for your second, third or fourth interview, then you are the right channel. My name is Joshua and this is JC Consult. My team and I have been able to assist a lot of students with the applications, school applications, as well as their visa applications. If this is something that interests you, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload a video, you are going to be notified. And also every weekend we come live and train students for their visa interview, whether it's a B1, B2 student visa or American DV lottery visa. Alright, so guys, let me go straight into the video. So first of all, if you have not watched my video on my first visa interview and the lessons I learned, I am going to pin it. Watch it before you continue with this video. So when I went the first time, though it was my first time, so one of the lessons I learned was that was my first time, and in anything when it's your first time, you're gonna shake a bit. Though I had built myself, joined several mock interviews, but you're still gonna shake. So that was one of the lessons I learned. Number 2, I learned that scholarships play a key role in your visa interview, because these visa officers know that where we're coming from, the families in Africa don't really have money to afford tuition fees in the US, because the Americans themselves, they take loans to school. So imagine coming from Africa, which we know the average African has issues when it comes to finances. So guys, the second thing was what? Scholarships or getting graduate assistantship. So lucky for me, when my admission came the second time, or my second World War, my second school applications, I remember my admission came, I think in all I applied to 12 schools, 8 PhD application and 4 master's application. With all the PhDs, they all turned me down. So with the 4 masters, 2 of them gave me admission, which is Southern Connecticut State University, as well as what? The first one was Missouri. So the second time, I think I applied to, I think it's Missouri. I think I applied to Missouri again. So with Missouri, it's still gonna be admission without funding. So both schools, I started sending cold emails to professors. So that means if you get admission without funding, you do not have to give up. You can still fight and get the needed scholarships. So I send code emails. For with Southern Connecticut State University, I had opportunity to speak with the chemistry head and explain my situation to him that on a Zoom meeting. And I was like, he said, oh, come to the US. When you get here, there are a lot of opportunities. You're gonna get forms of scholarship. I said, sir, I went the first time, I got denied. And if you're not helping me get scholarships or graduate assistantship, it's gonna affect me the second time. We learn from our past mistakes. We don't go the second time and do the same mistakes. So when I told him that, he was like, okay, then he's going to talk to the other professors in the chemistry department and see if there's gonna be any form of graduate assistantship that can help me. But before that, before I submitted my application, there were scholarships for international students, which I applied. I wrote 6 strong essays, which I submitted. So you understand? So that's why I always say that when you apply to schools, do not just submit your application. Go to scholarships. Go to scholarship and apply. If there are forms of scholarship, apply. Also send cold emails to professors and see if there was external scholarship or graduate assistantship to or for international students. So I did that. So after speaking with the chemistry head, and lucky for me, he responded to my code email and he CC'd another professor. Yes, so the professor had a graduate research assistantship, which she was going to help me get my tuition. No, I think it covered like 80% of or 70% of my tuition. And the essays I wrote, the 6 strong essay that I wrote. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, help me write this essay. Nobody helped me. Just the question, I Googled it, I started reading, I went on YouTube and I searched scholarship application. People have done several videos. So when I watch each video, the point that makes sense to me and is related to any of the 6 questions, I write it down, then I type it. So I just open the Microsoft Word, then as I keep reading on Google or on YouTube, any information that comes. And also, I also help my statement of purpose also help me, because the statement of purpose, I don't know the 6 questions, most of them will come from your statement of purpose. So take note of that. So it really helped me. It really helped me. So statement of purpose, Google the questions, go on YouTube, search for scholarship applications or international student scholarship applications. People have done several videos. Add all these, you are going to be able to answer these scholarship questions. So that's what I did. So I don't know the day I got a graduate assistantship, which was worth $12,000, and I think my tuition was $20,000, and my cost of attendance was $18,000. So the total was what? Total cost of attendance was $38,000 for a year. So after the graduate assistantship, also because of the 6 questions that I answered, when I submitted application, I was awarded $4,000 scholarship, which was the Dean's Scholars Award. And also, I was awarded the Graduate Southern International Fellowship Award. I think I was awarded because of my research publication during my undergraduate in Care University, where I did my bachelor's degree in chemistry. I got a research publication, so it was a plus for me. So fast forward, I started joining mock interview for myself. I started my travel business and I started training students. So I humbled myself. When I train you, then I also ask you to also train me. So that is how I was able to maneuver. So, and I had a friend, we call each other every day. She went to University of Maine. Her name was Abna. She went to University of Maine. And every day we call ourselves, each day, in the evenings, we ask ourselves questions. I joined several mock interview. I go there, they ask me questions. Like every day was a learning process. I go on the mock interview, I make mistakes, I write it, I learn from it. If you have not watched my video on the 16 questions visa officer mostly ask, I'm gonna pin it, watch it, get a pen and a jotter. That is what I almost tell my students on my live session. Write the questions, answer, have a good story, and my video is gonna help you and guide you to answer these questions. So fast forward, I remember when I was in a VIP bus to Accra, I was meditating on my lines or my story in my jotter. So I had everything and I keep practicing. Sometimes you even have to stand in front of the mirror and be meditating. Ask yourself, why this school? Why are you traveling? What is the reason or what is the purpose of your travel? Why did you choose this school? What are the plans after school? Stand in front of the mirror, ask yourself those questions and answer them. Yeah, so I got to the embassy, and I remember when I got to the embassy, that's Accra Embassy, US Embassy in Accra, I saw a client, my own client that I was training, and I also got a date. I was hunting date for her. Yeah, so at the embassy, we were still asking ourselves. So for me, until I achieve my goal, I don't play. Until I have achieved or my visa has been approved, I keep rehearsing, I keep learning. So after I rehearsed with my clients, we all joined the queue. Even the queue, I was meditating in my head. Why this school? Why did you apply? Why this program? What are you going to do in the US? What are your plans after school? Tell me some of the courses you'll be doing, your curriculum. Tell me about your research. So when I got to the embassy, they're gonna help you separate certain documents from the major. Yeah, basically the visa officer will need your passport, your I-20, your scholarships. You have scholarships, your service fee and MRV fee or the visa fee. These are the basic, and the DS-160 confirmation page. Once you get there, the visa officer will take it and scan it. When she scans it, there's a barcode at the back of the sheet. So every information you fill on the DS-160 will appear there. And take note, submit your DS-160 72 hours, 3 days to your interview, so that the DS-160 will be received at the US Embassy system for your interview. So when they scan it, I've seen students got to the embassy, the visa officer scanned it, and their DS-160 because was not on their system because they submitted a night to their interview. Take note of that and don't make that mistake. So I got there and it was a new visa officer. And mostly when you get to the embassy and you've been there before, the first questions, the question they're going to ask you is what has changed? Because you've been here before. What has changed? So they ask you, when a visa officer asks you what has changed, lesson number 1, they want to know if the school has changed. Or are you still maintaining the same school? If the school is the same, you say it's the same. If the school has changed, I came at Missouri University first time, and this time I'm coming with Southern Connecticut State University. I'm going to offer the same Masters in Chemistry program. If the program number 2 program. If the program has changed, let the visa officer know. If it's the same, maintain it. So I maintain it. And also, I've been awarded a graduate assistantship of $12,000, Southern International Fellowship Award of $4,000, and also Dean Scholarship Award. Dean Scholarship Award was also $4,000, making a total of $20,000. That waived my full tuition. But the first time or earlier when I came, there was no scholarship at all. So that means there has been a growth. There has been a growth in scholarship. School has changed. The program is the same, but when it comes to scholarship, there has been a growth, and that is what the visa officer wants to see. There should be a growth. It's very so. If you went the first time, no scholarship. You are going the second time, no scholarship. Why? Why are you going? Because there has not been growth. There has not been any growth. So why do you go and waste money? That's why you need to join my interview, share your experience with me before you go to the interview. That's very important. It's very important. And lastly, scholarship or your sponsor. No, sponsor. Number 4, third point is your sponsor. So your sponsor also make sure. So for me, the first time my dad was sponsoring me, but the second time my dad was not in the country, so my uncle was sponsoring me. Perfect. Even though when you get a tuition waiver, who is sponsoring doesn't even matter. So the visa officer. So for me, they did not ask me what has changed, but I was prepared to answer it as I just said it. You understand? So when I got there, the visa officer asked me why this school, why this program, and so basically, so for me, why this school? I chose Southern Connecticut because that's why I always say that when they ask you why this school, tell them about the scholarship, what makes the school unique, especially in terms of the program you are willing to offer in the school. So that I can say that the school has given me 3 different forms of scholarship. You mentioned it, and the amount is very important. I was awarded the graduate research assistantship by a professor, so in the research topic that we are going to do or we'll be doing in school. I won the Dean Scholars Award of $4,000 and also Southern International Fellowship Award of $4,000, making a total of $20,000, which will waive my full tuition. This is good. Because the interview, everybody has just 2 minutes or 3 minutes or maximum 5 minutes. So start any question, your first 3 statements should have the strongest line or points. Southern Connecticut has the best chemistry in terms of laboratory, in terms of equipment for research. You can add that. The class size of teacher to workforce ratio is this. I'm going to work with a professor whose research aligns with my research interest. Or my current work I do. I've got a research publication and the professor's work aligns with my research publication. That's why I chose the school. Number 2, the question I was also asked, why this program? Why chemistry? I did chemistry for undergraduate. I ended up working at the Conference Teaching Hospital as a research assistant. So in there, we test quality of water, air, this and that. So I like to further my education to gain an in-depth knowledge to come back to Ghana and solve the water and air pollution problems. We go to school to solve problems, and that is the reason why we go to school. So we are going to school, you have identified a problem in Ghana, and currently every job you're doing, you are solving a problem. So you tell the visa officer, I'm currently working with this company and this is what we solve. So I want to have an in-depth knowledge about this particular problem I have identified in Ghana. When I'm done with school, I'll come and take a higher role, or I'll come and start a business. I'll come and partner with an NGO. So telling the visa officer you come to partner with is also automatically telling the visa officer your plans after school. Your plans after school. So already you've answered that question. Yeah, so guys, this is basically the question. And she asked me my scholarship on the I-20, and make sure all scholarships are reflecting on the I-20. For me, the graduate assistantship was the only scholarship that reflected. So when I told the visa officer I got a tuition waiver, she was like, no. So I came up with the scholarship letters. We did the calculations, and that time, bro, that was my last question. So that one, I needed to be wild and explain to her mathematics, and she was a new visa officer, a young, beautiful lady. So I had to make sure my maths and calculations are working. If you are not convincing the visa officer, then you are going to be denied. So, and she also asked me the last question, how many schools did I apply to? And I just mentioned it. I said I applied to 4 schools, and I got admission to this, and I chose Southern Connecticut State because that was it. And she told me the magic words, I'm approving your visa. Yeah, so guys, this is the lessons you can learn from my second visa interview. Thank you so much. And I'm very grateful for the love. Share this video to anybody who is also preparing, and let this video inspire and motivate them. And I hope everybody going for their visa for fall 2025, your visa is gonna be approved. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye-bye.